Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm here to bring you the Take 5 art video for the month of June. Oh my goodness, I can't believe we are halfway through the year. It's pretty amazing. So today, or this month, the prompts are brought to us by the lovely Anne from Just Me Creating. And I've got some prompts here for you. I'm just putting them up on the screen. I'm going to whiz through these and I don't know, and totally got me procrastinating. It's like towards the end of the month and I still don't know what I'm going to come up with. So I've just pulled a whole lot of things out. For prompt number 1 is stickers. I've pulled out alpha stickers. And I think I'm going to do something like title with that. Prompt number 2, I've got washi tape. So I've pulled out 2 purples and a train track black and white. Prompt number 3 is purple, and I've pulled out like every single purple in my medium. I've got the Dina Wakley scribble stick in blackberry, so that's their purple. I've got the distressed ink in wilted violet. I've got the distressed oxide and seedless preserves. I've got some liquid pearls in hydrangea and lavender. I've got some lilac acrylic paint, and I've got dilution ink spray. I really don't know what I'm doing just yet, but I've got some purple out. I've got some stencils, so I've pulled out a whole heap of my stencils here on the side. I've also got some of these stencils here, and I've got a second one here. So we'll see how we go. And finally, and which is the doozy, is draw flowers, and so not a drawer. So this is why I'm procrastinating, and this is going to be my cheat sheet. So I have this Distress Crayon watercolor kit, and in this watercolor kit I have, along of course with my Distress crayons, I have got this stamp set that Tim often uses. He uses the butterfly from this quite a bit, and see this flower here. Okay, so I've got that flower right here, and I'm just going to draw that. Like, I would so stamp it, but because the prompt is to draw flowers, I'm going to draw a flower, and this is my inspiration for what flower to draw. So this is how I'm going to cheat. And then I can't wait to see what the other girls do, because I'm going to learn how to draw flowers from them. Right? Okay, so that's all my prompts. I'm going to get started, and wish me luck. So as usual, I'm going to start off with this A5 pad of 300 GSM watercolor paper. I'm making dividers for my planner. And so I thought I would start with this little stencil of just like a mason jar. And so I am just taping my stencil down to my watercolor paper, and I'm reaching for just my archival ink, and I am just going to stencil in this jar. I thought it would be a good idea to start with the drawing prompt so that I knew where I was going to put my focal image, and then perhaps go from there. So I am now just pulling out this stamp set that is from the watercolor distress crayon kit, and I thought I would stamp it to see how big it was, you know, what it looked like, and just to get my reference photos, so to speak, sitting there next to me. And so I sort of don't know what this flower is. I feel like it's a weed, so I don't know. Sorry, I'm not so good with flowers. So I've got it there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start just with my pencil very lightly. I'm just going to copy the shape. So it looks like a bit of a cone shape, and I'm going to do 2 because it did say draw flowers, so I was true to the prompt. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead now and just put in the petals, not the petals, the little leaves, I guess. I'm going to call them leaves at the bottom. So they just, I have two that are going up near the cone of the flower, and the rest are just gonna droop down like the stamps. And then so what I'm doing is I'm just grabbing my fine art black pen, and I am just going to make little like feathery, I guess feathery marks. I'm trying to bring it in so it goes to macro, and sort of like little mountains, like V's, upside down V's. And then I'm just also going to feather it up so it's just looking like a little bit of a Proteus flower, which I have here in my garden. I feel like it's a weed. And I'm just putting in the stalk as well. I'm really sorry, the macro is in and out with my hands, so we'll get out of this closeness in just a minute. So yeah, upside down V's, a little bit of furry on the edge, and then I'm going to go ahead and put in my little leaves, I guess, and the stalk, and then I promise we're going to get out of, I didn't realize it was doing this. I was just so busy concentrating on making it look perfect. It actually looks like upside down strawberries, don't you think? So, and as soon as I saw this, I stepped back and I thought, oh my goodness, this actually sort of kind of looks good. Is it possible that I can draw this? I mean, and having it next to that stamped image, it kind of doesn't look the same, but it doesn't matter. I'm pretty happy with that effort. I've got my stencil and I've got my flower. I thought what I would do next is I would just add a little bit of the blue color to symbolize the water in the mason jar that the flowers are in. And I'm just using the blue from the Dina Wakley Scribble Stick set. And just making it a little bit darker around the edges and a little bit lighter in the middle. Every time I wiped, it seemed to wipe too much, and every time I added, it added too much color, so I kind of fiddle with this for just a little bit until I have it how I'd like it. I then decide to go for the green in the kit, and I am just adding some green to the stalk and to the leaves. Next, I thought I might as well go ahead and add the color purple. Now these are unlike any weeds that I've ever seen in my life, so this is just a made-up fairy tale kind of weed. This is a weed flower especially for Anne from the Take 5 Art collab. Some kind of purple flower for you, Anne. I really like how it turned out, so I just added a little bit of dark around the edges and really light around the middle, and then I sort of feathered it up so it looked sort of feathery like a Proteus flower. That's kind of the only reference that I had in my head, so I just kind of played with it. It's not anything realistic. It's just like a fantastical flower that I created in my mind. It's so pretty. I love it. Gotta think of a name for it, I think. Just coloring in the inside there with a little bit of light purple, and I'm calling this pretty much done, and I'm so happy. I can't believe that I've actually drawn a flower. And once again, thank you to Take 5 Art. That pushes me beyond my limit, because usually I would have just stamped this. So the next thing I wanted to do is I wanted to ground this image, and I thought I would ground it by adding some washi tape. So I'm just reaching for the first, the widest of the three that I picked. Just a little bit of black and white to make a little bit of contrast. Then I am layering it on top with this striped purple and clear, and finally I'm going for the smallest one of them all, and with that I'm gonna sort of run it overlapping between the two all the way to the left hand side. And just like that, I feel like that is really lovely and grounded. And I thought I'd grab one more, which is just a, an arrow, black and white. This one is one I've had for quite a long time, and it's actually not that tacky anymore, but I still use it, and so I end up just adding a little bit of double-sided sticky tape to hold it down. And I just love that layered look. I love the black and white. I love the purple in the washi, all kind of, tying it in together. So the next thing I wanted to do is I wanted to add just a little bit more stenciling. I wanted to add, you know, the prompt says stencils, so I wanted to be true to the prompt, and I added this. This is a seedless preserved, and I instantly didn't like it. It did not match the color of the dark berry that Dina Wakley had, and I immediately really hated it. So I tried to go ahead and add that color in, and it sort of didn't take very well. So I thought I would try with the wilted violet, and immediately the wilted violet is so much better. So I realigned my stencil and I hit the same patterns again with the wilted violet, and I just realized that I don't have wilted violet in oxide, so I'm gonna have to order that, because wilted violet is one of my favorite colors. So I just go over that, and phew, thank goodness, that looks really good. So I'm gonna add a second bit up there just to balance the picture, and phew, just like that. I thought that worked really well. I'm just cutting off the extra bits at the top there where I ripped the paper off the pad. So that's looking really, really cool. So the last bit is the stickers. I'm going to go ahead and title this page just the month. So this is my dashboard for the month of June in my planner, and so I'm just going to put June. I also thought that they looked a bit floaty, so I decided to go ahead and add some washi tape to ground them as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing that layering under June. I did consider coloring in the colors, but I do love that craft look. It looks kind of really fresh. I then sort of thought that everything looked a little bit too neat, and so I decided to add just a little bit of stenciling, again, purple to the bottom left hand side, and I will go ahead and do that underneath the month in a moment as well, just to kind of balance that. And just like that, I love how this dashboard came together. It was quick and it's very simple. And you know, when I think about it, that is exactly the style that Anne's YouTube shows her. I love all her art. Her art is very simple, very quick, and just really effective. And I find that when I follow the prompts of the other girls, I end up like going into their style of art journaling, which is just so cool because I learn something new every time. So I'm just really grateful to come up with such a beautiful, clean, simple piece like this. So thank you so much, Anne. These are great prompts, and I feel so much better after sitting down to actually make something. If you guys are interested in playing along with us, please go ahead and use these prompts, make some beautiful art, and tag us on Instagram with the hashtag Take5Art. We are always excited to see who's playing along, and we do add you to a playlist that Kyra has. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Don't forget to hop along and see what the other girls did for the month of June, and I will see you in my next video.